In this video, we're going to be breaking down the latest databank download in Star Wars Shatterpoint. It's Hondo Ohnaka, the honest businessman. Hey guys, Rich from Rich Big Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Well, welcome to this, another Star Wars Shatterpoint video, and a character that I've been very excited to see come into the game. We're getting into now the sort of Star Wars Rebels type characters who I know he's been in other things as well, but I first saw him in Rebels. And that sort of era I'm really looking forward to. So I can't wait for the Ghost Crew, I can't wait for some Thrawn, all sorts of other stuff. But Hondo even is a character that I've been very excited to get my hands on. So let's jump over and let's take a look at his card and what he's going to bring to the table. Okay, so first off, as you can see, guys, he is going to be, he's going to bring 7 squad points with him. So he's not bringing a lot of squad points, but he's also not bringing a huge amount of force with him. But do not worry, because he's got some tricks up his sleeve, as you would expect. And as we can see there, Hondo, the honest businessman, Hondo Ohnaka, and he's a primary unit. So let's get to his card, because there's quite a bit here to break down. So let's start off then with his tactic ability. That's just good business. At the start of this unit's activation, refresh 1 force for each active objective controlled by another player. Pretty crazy indeed. It's also really interesting as well, because it doesn't say by the enemy player, it says another player. And reading into it a little bit too much maybe, but maybe this is future-proofing for a 4-person version of the game. Just putting it out there, because they have done that. They've done a really good job of future-proofing. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. This is really good. It's going to mean that you want to time your Hondo activation appropriately. You're going to want to have spent some force, and you're going to want to be able to get a couple back at least from your opponent. You know, if you can get 2 force back every time you activate him, that effectively means that he's a 7/4, which is really good. But, you know, depending on the setup that you've got, and you get it right, could very easily be 3 that you are getting. So, yeah, really like that. I think that's a very strong tactic. So his first active ability then is going to be Inspiring Stories, so many of them true. It's going to cost 1 force. Choose an allied unit, 1 character in this unit, and each character in the chosen unit excuse me, may dash. Now this is very good, and let me explain why it's good. Yes, it costs a force. It's not a tactic like some of the other ones that are out there, but choose an allied unit. So the first thing is there's no range restriction on this. Anywhere on the board you can choose that unit. Both characters can move, which again is really good. But he also moves himself, which again really good. And lastly, there is no tag on this ability. So most of the characters in the game, when they're moving people around, you think of the likes of Rex and Ahsoka and you know, all the other ones that are out there. They're only moving their own kind, if you like. Mandalorians move Mandalorians, Galactic Republic move Galactic Republic, so on and so forth. Hondo looks like he's going to be very good at fitting in to a few places, which I think is going to be very, very good indeed. His second active ability then, what have we here? Again, it's going to cost 1 force. Choose an enemy unit within 2. The chosen unit gains pin and strain. Then, if that unit's order card is in reserve, you may spend 1 force to shuffle it into its controlling player's order deck. This is the kind of play style that I really, really like. Really, really like indeed. So it is going to cost you 2 in total, but you imagine, you know, doing it to a big hitting character who they know they've got in reserve, or, you know, something like that, and you know, they're waiting to activate somebody as a last activation or something like that. It's really, really good. Really, really like this. He's got 1 reactive ability. This effort is no longer profitable. Again, it's going to cost 1 force. When another allied unit within range 4 becomes wounded, this unit may use this ability. 1 character in this unit may reposition. That character may not end this movement engaged. Now, important to note that it is engaged, not engaged with a non-wounded character. So even if a character is wounded, you can still be engaged with them within range 2. So just worth pointing out. I thought this was really good at first. I think because of that engaged side of things, it's not quite as good, if I'm being brutally honest. And then lastly, his identity. Fair, what's fair? When an allied Scoundrel character makes an attack as part of a combat action, if the defender is engaged with 1 or more characters in another allied unit that are not wounded, it may add 2 dice to the attack roll. If it does, after the attack is resolved, each allied unit within range 2 of the defender except the attacking unit gains a strain. It's interesting, to say the least. I'm really intrigued to see what his secondary and what his support bring to kind of sort of play into this. Obviously, we know they're going to be scoundrels. Actually, one last thing is Hondo is going to be a 9/3. So for a 7, you know, for someone who's only bringing 7 squad points, he's a little on the light side, to say the least. But I don't think this is going to be a guy who you want up close and personal and getting involved in any sort of altercation. He's there really to manipulate the board, move other pieces around, and yeah, really, really annoy your opponent. I'd like to take a minute to thank the brand new sponsor of the channel, Loyalist Games. Loyalist are a great local gaming store in West Yorkshire. They stock all of your favourite MCP and Shatterpoint products, plus a huge range of other gaming systems. They also have an awesome gaming space where weekly events are held. We've already been running our MCP League that's coming into its 4th season. We've hosted a number of MCP events, and we'll be doing so for Shatterpoint as well. So hopefully we can see you guys there at some of the events in the future. There'll be a link down in the description below, and if you're looking for a place to get all of your hobbying purchases at a great price, then look no further than Loyalist Games. So the other thing I wanted to do, guys, was just go through and let's have a look at what other characters are going to have that Scoundrel tag. So let me just put in here, because we did have some that weren't there, because there are a lot of other characters. Now obviously everyone in Hondo's box is going to be a Scoundrel, but there are plenty of others available to us as well. We've got Aura Singh, we've got the Bounty Hunters, we've got Boosh. Now it is important to note you're not going to be able to have Boosh, Lando and R2, or indeed Moff Gideon in the pack with sorry, in a squad with Hondo, purely because if you look at the eras, they don't cross over. So yeah, they're different ones. But you've got Aura Singh, Bounty Hunters, Boosh, Cad Bane, Hondo himself. Django's going to be very, very good, I think. Lando and R2-D2, Lord Maul, who, you know, that's pretty darn good. And then also Moff Gideon. But as I say, Moff, Lando, and Boosh are different eras, so they're not going to be able to be in the same squad as him. But they are the characters right now, plus the support and plus the secondary that comes in Hondo's pack. They are the ones that are going to be benefiting from that identity that he brings. So these are the characters that you probably want to lean into when you are looking at building a strike team and you're taking Hondo alongside you. So yeah, let's jump back over. I just wanted to show you guys that just so we were on the same page with things. So let's take a quick look then at his stance card. We've got Clever Captain is the first side. 7-5-5-5, range 4. So 7-5 on his range, 5-5 on his melee. As expected, like, you know, he's going to be better at range. And just look at that Hondo's blaster. 1 expertise is going to get you 1 crit and 1 hit, which is very, very nice indeed. He's got a pin and a damage. He's got repositions, he's got shoves, he can dish out expose, he can dish out disarm, he's got a couple of heals in there. If you get all the way to the end, you get another shove, a heal, and a damage as well. A recover action, sorry, not a heal, but a recover action. His defensive tree or his defensive expertise is kind of okay. You know, for 1, you are turning a crit to a fail, which is always really, really nice. 2, you're getting a block and a crit to a fail, and then 3, you're getting 2 blocks and a crit to a fail. So I think that's quite nice indeed. Let's have a look then at his Pugnacious Pirate, because this is a little bit crazy to say the least. So many options that can be taken. You can go straight across at the beginning, and then you can go up, down, across. A lot more damage on this side. Still only 7-5-5-5. His blaster isn't quite as good when it comes to the expertise. His electro staff is, which I find a little bit surprising, especially as he's still only 5. He's still only 5 dice. His Wily Survivor, I nearly said something else then, Willy Survivor. His Wily Survivor, I don't mind 2 expertise for a block, a recover, and a jump is very, very good indeed, potentially getting him out of range of that second, or that follow-up attack from a support unit or something like that. So yeah, I do really, really like it. Look, 2 shoves on 2 successes on this side is very, very nice. This is obviously more damage orientated. You know, it's got access to, let me work it out. You can do 1, 2. So you can only do 3 shoves at the most, just because of the way that you have to go down the tree, but it's still pretty darn good. Damage output wise, he's going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, he can do 8 if he goes. Yeah, if he starts at the bottom, he gets 2, 3, and down 4, 5, up 6, and then across 7, 8. So it's okay. It's fine damage wise, but like I say, Hondo isn't really there to be somebody who's going to be dishing out a huge amount of damage. Overall, guys, I'm really, really impressed with him. I think he brings something a little bit different, which I do appreciate and enjoy. It's nice to have variety, and this game definitely needs more of it. I love the things like, what do we have here, where you can shuffle an opponent's order card back into the deck. That's pretty crazy. This guy is paper thin though, so just be wary of that. You're going to want to make sure that he's got some sort of protection in place, just to keep him alive for much, much longer, because he's got some good things that he can do. But there we go, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of Hondo Honest Businessman? And are you stoked for some Weequay Pirates? Let me know down in the comment section below. I want to give another big shout out to the team at Loyalist Games for sponsoring the channel. And I also want to give a big shout out to everyone who's joined us on Patreon even. It's greatly appreciated. And there's now a couple of ways in which you can support the channel. Link to Patreon will be down in the description below, but you can also press the join button. We now have YouTube membership live as well. So if you want to become part of the YouTube membership crew, you get some cool little stickers and things that you use when you're leaving comments, plus a couple of other things as well. You can do so, and there'll be just click the join button that's down below. But guys, you don't need to do either of those to support the channel. You can buy some stuff from loyalist games. That really does help and prove my worth to those guys. But even outside of that, like, commenting, sharing and subscribing really does help, and it really does go a long way. We're going to leave it there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, may the force be with you.